The overnight bus typically leaves La Paz at 8 p.m. and arrives 6 a.m. the following morning. But before you freeze your butts off, I warn you, not all buses are heated, so dress warm. I just got started, and this is going to be like a 10-hour journey. I'm looking forward to a smooth ride, if not so rocky ride. We got a little bit lucky because the bus came early today, and there's really no need to book a tour in advance because as soon as you get off the bus, there's people hounding you. The average cost of 3 days and 2-night tour is around 600 to 700 Bolivianos, or about $85 during the low season. It can be as high as $100 to $120 during the peak season. Never accept the first offer and always bargain hard. The tour usually leave around 10 to 11 a.m. With few hours to kill, it's time to explore this lovely town. I guess what it used to be is there's lots of resources in the area that used to ship them back and forth, and once it's depleted, the tracks are abandoned, and now this becomes a tourist town for people who want to go to Uyuni. By the way, please meet our tour guide, Francis.
Hola.
So pretty much all the tours are the same, and we start off with the train cemetery right here. It's roughly about 5 minutes away from town, and look. The town serving the pass as distribution hub for the trains carrying minerals on their way to the Pacific Ocean ports. Alright, the best part is you can climb up. And the vantage point up here is just amazing. So, one thing I do have to warn you guys is, you see this one? Look. Be very careful. The train line was built by the British engineer who arrived near the end of the 19th century. The rail construction started in 1888 and ended 4 years later. It was constantly sabotaged by the local indigenous people who saw it as an intrusion into their lives. The final nail in the coffin came in 1940s when the mining industry collapsed, partially due to the mineral depletion. Many trains were abandoned right at the present spot of the train cemetery. So our second stop here is actually a little souvenir village, and most of the stuff here are actually made by locals. So just remember, there's always room for bargaining. This is a salt processing cooperative village called Colchani, where you can get a glimpse of salt mining, where it's extracted, refined, packaged, and later distributed, with some explanation how the locals built houses from bricks of salt. Alright, so it's confirmed these are handmade and they made locally, so I support you to buy something and support the local economy. For those of you who not only want to visit the salt flat, but also want to taste it, not a problem. There are like few bolivios and you can take it home and share the taste of salt flat for everyone. Our next stop is definitely my favorite, the famous salt flat of Uyuni. So boys and girls, welcome to the beautiful, oh my god, I love this place. The Uyuni the Salt Flats. I love this place. Do you know how many times I want to come back here? Look how beautiful this is. Oh my god, I want to cry. Alright, so I want to do something fun. Time lapse. In Spanish, it's called Salar de Uyuni and is the world's largest surface of salt covering 11,000 square kilometers with elevation of 12,000 feet above the sea level. It was formed as a result of transformation between several prehistoric lakes between 30,000 to 42,000 years ago. If you want to walk on water like Jesus, the best time to visit is summer, between December to February, during the raining seasons. The rainwater will transform the salt flat into a large shallow lake, creating the world's largest natural mirror to reflect the spectacular landscape. Next, we headed out for lunch, and yes, it's included in our tour. So this is the dry part of the salt flat. There's a chalet in the back right there, and it's where all the tour guides bring their food and prepare there and serve it to their guests. So this is actually really crazy because 3 years ago when I was here, this exactly Canadian flag was actually here as well and I was holding it. It's crazy and never fade away. Good to see it and good to be back here. This is a multinational chalet. Bring our country flag. While Francis prepared our meal, I took another time lapse to show off, and I'm getting really good at this. You want to see what I'm eating right now? Thank goodness I didn't finish up, so it's pretty decent. The food's made by a guy, serving a nice chalet here. Our chalet is actually a hotel made completely from bricks of salt, including some of the furniture, first inhabited by salt miners, but now it has been reconditioned as a tourist attraction and a cafeteria. If you don't see a tour guide during the meals, it's not an accident, and here's why. And the reason you don't see the tour guide is because he's eating our leftovers. not cool. All of us should encourage our tour guides to eat with us and be part of our group. And they don't get paid much, so another great things we can do is helping do cleanup. Next, we drove off and got silly, very silly. As you can see, this is the part of the salt flat. You can do some crazy stuff like my friend is right now. He's my guy's in high demand right now. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. Guys, this is a beautiful world for you to discover, and you don't even know what you might bump into, like dragons, that green man. I know this. The world's so beautiful and small. It is the perfect place to create optical illusions, both popular with travelers and professional photographers who are eager to show their creativity and silly photography skills. That's enough of silliness, but here's an important advice. It's so hot here. Make sure you drink some water. Alright, drink some water. More. The salt flat of Uyuni is covered by few meters of salt crust, which has an extraordinary flatness with an average elevation variation within 1 meter over the entire area, making it an ideal object for calibrating autonomous of Earth observation satellite. The crust also covers a pool of brine, which is exceptionally rich in lithium. It contains 50 to 70% of world-known lithium reserve, as well as large amount of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Our next stop is Isla Incahuasi. The entrance fee is 15 Bolivianos or $2, but as you can see, it's worth every penny. The fish island contains many rock formations made from petrified corals, and if you are manly enough to hike up, you'll be rewarded with a breathtaking 360 view of Salt Flat. So spectacular. Alright, so as you can see, and here, it's really windy right here. So before you come up, wear something really warm, not sleeping like this. I'm freezing cold right now. So please, take my advice. It's the top of the remain of an ancient volcano, which was submerged when the area was a part of a giant prehistoric lake. Not only you can see and touch giant cacti, bad idea. Don't touch it. Once you get up here, this is where you are. Panoramic view of the salt flats. I'm the king of the world! Can you hear me? After all that craziness, it's time to calm down for some magnificent sunset. And yes, it is truly magnificent. The sky get dark early, and by 5 p.m. it was complete darkness. We have stopped by our resting place for the night. So there it is. It's a Salt Flat hotel. It might not be luxurious, but it will do for the night. But be prepared to wear your clothing for... This is a good time to wash my salty shoes and socks, literally. As usual, our tour guide usually do all the work, including preparing all the meals in the rented Salt Flat hostel. So for dinner tonight, we got hot soup, baked chicken, and potatoes. So good morning, buenos dias, and today we're waking up early because we want to go early and not see that main tour. So this is our breakfast. Well, nice and simple. The drive to our next attraction takes about a few hours, but I don't mind. You'll pass by some of the most beautiful landscape on earth. We did manage to get off our car for a few minutes to stretch our legs along the train track leading into Chile. So we started off today morning by driving here to the train tracks. This is actually still at the train track that go from Uyuni all the way to Chile. It's all surrounded by just magnificent sceneries. We finally reach our next stop at the world's driest desert, the Atacama Desert. This is what the second stop of the day is, volcanic lagoon, at least a view of it, and behind that is actually Chile, so this is pretty much really close up frontier, and we're surrounded by ancient volcanic rocks, and it's actually really nice to go for a hike, but please wear some proper hiking shoes. The Ollagüe started developing over 1 million years ago, and mostly from Pleistocene age, and still semi-active today. This is where you can brag and fool your friends that you've been to Mars, as the alien landscape are formed with erupted rocks giving its oxide color. So our next stop is Chiguana Lagoon. This is a frozen lake and you can see flamingos there. And it's really nice in the sense that you can actually walk on it, but you have to be very, very careful. The Laguna Verde is one of the 9 small saline lakes in Andean Altiplano with an area of 3 square kilometers. It's extremely remote, making human habitation impossible, except for flamingos, llamas, and alpaca are seen grazing. This is where we have our lunch nearby, once again freshly prepared by Francis. That's no problem, no problem. We briefly drop by the lagoon nearby and make sure no leftover food go wasted. Soon we arrive close to the entrance of the national park, and once again we explore the alien Martian landscape. So here we are seated colors, means 7 colors, and that's a mountain that has 7 colors. Right behind it is Chile. So if you want to escape to Chile, that's a great way. Here's a footpath for you. What I'm really curious about is these cuts, like really precise. I don't know if it's man-made or natural. I'm gonna ask my guy. It's really strange. It's really precise. Further in, we reach the famous Laguna Colorado, or Color Lagoon, a shallow salt lake. The lake contains Brooks Island, whose white color contrasts with the reddish color of its waters, which is caused by the red sedimentation and the pigmentation of its algae. So I'm here in the Laguna Colorada, and in Spanish, Colorada means color, and as you can see, the different shades of pink. And if you get closer, you're actually going to see flamingos, and lots of them, in case you missed it earlier. It's really nice. One thing I do have to tell everyone is please wear something warm and like a windbreaker, because as you can hear, the wind is really, really loud. Soon after, it's time to pay our dues. The entrance ticket is not including most tours and costs 150 Bolivianos, or approximately $22, but the stamp on your passport, free. Right after the gate, we arrive at one of the park's major attractions, the fumaroles, and this is why let loose. And also, this is why I practice my witch magic by warming up some water for the hot tea. Oh, as much as you want to jump in and have a nice warm bath here, no. Safety comes first. Trust me, it's very hot. You might go in alive, but you're coming out in a body bag or hospital. Most likely, you need a shower to get the smell of sulfur from the fumaroles and geysers. However, don't expect a shower in every hostel, but don't worry, there's always alternatives. It's getting dark and it's freezing. I really mean it's freezing. So I'm going to man up. Joining you guys soon. Joining you guys. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It's freaking cold. I swear. Now this is so nice. What was that guy saying? No, he's asking oh my god, I'm so cold. But don't worry, I survived the freezing experience with a hot bowl of soup for dinner. By the way, don't expect there's an outlet in every room. So as you can see, it's only 8 o'clock. I'm already heading to bed with my jacket on because it's so cold here. There's nothing to do, so we might as well end up going to bed. With that being said, I want to wish you all a good night and join me tomorrow for another great adventure. And reminder, light goes off at 9 o'clock sharp. I didn't come to Bolivia to sleep, so I woke up early. This is the last shot before going back to you. Finally undressed. Time to man up and get in here. So in some countries, to be honest, they don't even have electricity just right now. Like right now, I'm eating breakfast without any lightings, without any electricity. So for those of you, before you complain about not having the latest iPhones or all those gadgets or tablets, think about what people, how they live right here without it. We began our last day with a trip to Siloli Desert. I can't tell you anything about it as I can't find anything on the internet. But I can tell you it's freaking cold. This is a short distance away. So this is Laguna Verde, means green lagoon. But as you can see, this is winter time, so it's mostly frozen over. You can't really see the green. But when you come during the high season, it looks really nice. It used to look like this only 3 years ago. Another factor is climate change. Most of the lake has evaporated, and as a result of the chemical composition that made the green has changed. People in this region can actually see and feel the impact of global warming firsthand. For an extra fee, most tour operators allow you to be dropped out of Chile's San Pedro de Atacama border crossings. So basically, for those who want to head to Chile, this is a frontier, and right over there is a Chilean border. So for those of you who want to walk across, you can do that. There's also a colectivo that passed by here. But the hours are really different depending on the season. So with that being said, let me just walk over to... Welcome to Chile! So officially, I'm in Chile. Actually, right here. However, be warned, these buses are unpredictable during the low seasons. After dropping off our friends and they pass the immigrations, we are on our way back. And boy, it's insane how the weather changes. But within 30 minutes, the snow is no more. We arrive at one of the last attractions, the Valley of the Llamas. One of our final stops is here at Land of the Llamas. And as you can see, it's a really nice lake lagoon. And last time I was able to go to the other side, but maybe this time there's time constraints, so we're going to just visit this nice viewpoint. Not bad though, not bad. Then we have our final meal before heading back. So this is the last stop of our tour. It's a nice small town of St. Cristobal. Here you can grab some snacks, drinks, or go to the bathroom because there's no stops after this. Although I encourage everyone to bargain with the tour operators for the best price, but make sure to tip the tour guide well at the end of the trip. They are not employees of tour agencies. Rather, the agencies take a big commission and pass the rest to the tour guides, who are responsible for all the expense, do all the work, and yes, they work almost 18 hours a day. So, let's be generous.